Sorry we're late. Hello and welcome to League of Europe Division 5, Season 5, as MCR goes of 30.9. Round 4 at Mother Russia. I'm an unfamiliar voice to probably quite a few of you. I'm a bit of an OG commentator here. And my name is, well, it's Old School 3000, it's not LOE Mark anymore. I am on my first beer, so please excuse me. And I am joined by Tin Can, the artist formerly known as, what was your old name? Ben JS. Yes, indeed. Really happy to share the comms box with a guy that just parted like the Red Sea and cost me a win. That's fantastic. We're loving that. The safety car cost me the win more so. But yeah, that's D3, this is D5. And we're looking forward to quite a... I mean, it's always an entertaining race. I mean, you told me before the beginning of this stream that's slightly delayed that there is some interesting weather. Well, that could mean anything, couldn't it? That could mean... Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. I mean, like we've seen from D3, you can get a lot of joy out of well-timed safety cars, whether that's if you start on the softs or the mediums. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Actually, yeah, with the rain at the end, that's a really good shout. But then you're gambling on it. You're really at the mercy, aren't you, of it actually changing? Yeah, that's the thing. There's no certainty here at all, and it's going to be interesting to see how different people react to it, particularly down here. Yeah. So, you know a hell of a lot more about this division than I do. Run me through what I should be expecting this season. Obviously, last season I knew, but it's all a bit different now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Fair, as we're riding on board with Slayer, as he's taking the last sector as a Haas gets out the way. Looks fairly smooth, I have to say. Going into the penultimate corner, just has to make sure he doesn't run wide. So easy to do. Very nicely done. Comes over the line. 32.8. Not the best qualifier, is he, Slayer? But it's... Oh, 32.2. Sorry, yeah. Not the best qualifier from memory, but him and Cloudy tend to keep the car very, very kind of consistent through races, and that kind of helps, I think, in D5. Now, Freak Vonk is a name that I know from TTML. He's quite quick, but he's not had the best of luck, it seems, so far. Only 6 points as he enters the pits. I would expect to see a bit more from him, and I'd also expect to see a bit more from... I'm just going to call him Pass Me the Setup in the Haas, in 13th currently. He practices a lot. He was practicing with me earlier, so he puts in a bit of sweat, which is probably half the battle down here, I suspect. Yep. We have another full grid, which is always nice, as we don't have too many people, I don't think, on a lap, unless I'm really mistaken. Emperor's out here in these streets doing crazy things, as he still always does since I've raced with him. On 3 lap softs, that's probably not the recommended OP strat, but there he is. Yep, as has Ivor, I believe, and his teammate Riley, I believe, is also kind of coming round. Riley's an interesting one. I've caught bits of it. He's obviously new to league racing. He showed some decent pace. I suspect he'll get quicker through the season if he's brand new to it, much as we did back in the day. This 100%, and this isn't a track that particularly helps nerves, particularly sector 3, which he's going through now. It's very fiddly, it's very easy to get a slap of oversteer going through here particularly, but he keeps it, from the looks of it, very smooth. And that's half the battle, so he's going to come round. Ooh, that must have been close to an invalidation. This looks like a 33 to me. 33-1 up to 14th. As Ivor gets into the 31s. And past me, the setup has indeed gone up to 3rd place. So good efforts from them. As Royal Council does a 1 lots and lots, 0.793. And he majestically overtakes Freak Vonk as Jasper comes round. Mr. Consistent, 3rd in every single race. And he nearly gets 3rd on provisionally. Ben way off, obviously had a bit of an error. And Cloudy, I don't know if he just set that, but that was... Yeah, that just put him up to 5th, so the Renault's going well. Yeah. I would imagine pole's going to be a lot quicker than this. I think particularly MCR will have it in him. Yeah. Cerribo improves. I always find it interesting when people... Did you not? I always find it interesting when people go really deep into the setup with mediums. It's not something you see in higher divisions. Yeah. Ryan has managed to run out of hers. This must be his 2nd dip at it. And this is going to cost him. Interesting to know what he would have done with some battery, because that's not an untidy lap. It could have easily got him into a top 10 spot. Freak jumps up to 11th. Dave jumps up to 6th. Dave always interests me because raced with Dave many a time, and he used to be outstandingly quick, and I just, it's so weird to see him in D5. I know that if he put some welly into it, some practice, particularly, he could really be up there, but I'm guessing he's a busy man. Yeah. As Riley goes up to 12th. That's where you want to be, isn't it? You want to be 11th. Let's be honest. Particularly in D5, because I mean D3 was. Well, I think the one thing I would say though is that the one thing about D5 is it doesn't necessarily lend itself to massive trains, so you're not going to get massive incidents. Whereas D3, well, the higher you go up, basically. Well, D1 doesn't. D1 they all know how to drive. D2 somewhere in the middle, and then D3 is just a bunch of quick people with no. Yeah, basically. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to watching it back. I was away. Of course, you know. Every now and again I do that, but not very often. Slayer is not doing anything. Ibo is coming around. Ibo's invalidated, but still trying. Clausen has invalidated. This is probably my, along with Dave, sleeper performance, so to speak, is McDutchface. I feel like he can definitely do well on certain tracks. He's got a lot about him. It's so weird to see him again. Another one to see in the midfield. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Emperor and Bellon. I kind of just tie them together, to be honest, nowadays. 17th and 18th, they will be looking to improve. They will be a thorn in anyone's side if they start on those mediums, which they look to be doing. You don't want to be on those softs trying to overtake Emperor and Bellon. Nothing changes. MCR is on his outlap, so he will be coming around trying to protect this lead from guys like Slayer. Yep. Slayer has jumped up to P2 and he is in the pit. He is not having any more of this qualifying session, so that's the best he's going to do in a precarious situation, really. He won't want to be the guy that's... Ooh, and he's out. He is out, so that's bad news for him, and it's tough to see who is really the highest person on a lap. I think it might well be Flip. Now, Ivor's invalidated. That's not good news for him. It's whether he has the fuel, isn't it? I mean, he should. You would hope he would play it safe, particularly down here where a 10th isn't going to cost you a ton of pace. Flip comes round. It's not going to be dangerous. Ooh, and they just get over that. McLaren... No! Freak Ronk didn't get over, but Ivor did. So this is interesting. He's gone again. And that was very unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, and that's really helped Clausen, because that means Mike moves out of his way. He's got the slipstream, and he's going to be flying. So MCR may well be the first person to come over the line. He's up. 30.6. Oh, this is... Wow, this is going to be... And again, he's going to gain chunks of time because it's compared to the mediums, so it could be anything, really. It could be anything up to, I would say, about 8th or 9th, if he keeps it clean. P5, wow, okay, well, yeah, to be fair, it looks really, really really solid. I think you might be right. Oh, third. Cloudy over the line, and he jumps to third. Oh, that's not ideal. And then pass me the setup. Can't improve. Jasper coming round. 31.3. P5. Great effort from him. And I think we're done. Yeah, that's not the best, but you would argue for me. I'll tell you what, Ivor must be kicking himself because Clausen could have done. So, if he didn't spin, you would favour him to potentially jump. He had the slipstream, didn't he? Well, if it was, much like Ivor's season so far, unfortunately, it's well intended, but it's not quite worked out. Oh. Okay. Is it on your party settings? Audio sharing settings. Right, let me have a quick look. Share party audio. Mine is on. Sorry, we haven't been able to run through the list, but it should be on broadcast settings or on your party settings. On party? If you do always share. Sorry about this, guys. Party settings. So, allow your voice to be shared. Should one be always allowed? Oh, there we go.
New console, guys. New console.
Oh, you've got a PS5 now?
Yeah, got it this week. So.
What a disgusting flex. That's what that's what this was about. This was just you flexing the new console. Right, we're back. We're in. Let's have a look at what everyone's lined up as. So obviously we've got MCR first, staking a claim for his title run that's a little bit delayed, a little bit inconsistent. Slayer in second, doing very well to keep with MCR, and MCR is probably more likely to get penalties than Slayer, I would say. Cloudy in third, ST5, Mr. Slip in fourth, Jasper in fifth, Swip in sixth. Pass me the setup in seventh. That's like a name of a horse, isn't it? Flip Namsaram in eighth, Dave Javu in ninth, Ivor in 10th, McDutchface in 11th. McDutchface is on those mediums, which is a very good shout. Freak in 12th, Riley in 13th, Clausen is going to be ruining that spin in 14th, Ryan and Ben in 15th and 16th, Emperor Rub on 17th, Bellon in 18th, Ibo in 19th, and Royal Council in 20th. And they all get a gold star because none of them went on hards, because if they'd have done that, I would have really, really shouted.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they did it at Canada, the Alpha Tories. So.
My microphone is... Now I'm having mic problems. It's into my nose. Sorry, Frankie. Hope you're enjoying.
But yeah, it is interesting that Ryan, Ben and Clausen have all gone softs. I think it's the last few laps and the rain.
Well, yeah.
And Clausen's...
He likes spinning, this lad.
Yeah, especially Sector 3.
We need to be careful. What is the car? The Alpha Tauri was just spinning up the wheels so much. It was really strange. I've never seen anyone do that.
Got unique ways to get heat, it seems.
Yeah, burnouts for after the race, not before the race. That was one of Emperor or Bellon. Good news is we've got loads of comments. Probably most of them are saying we can't hear you, but
yeah.
Right. Let's take this one away. The camera angles are predictably shocking so far, but let's hope they change. They're not changing yet.
No. Anytime today, co-masters.
3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. The inevitable wait. They'll probably go out. Oh no, it's worked. And away we go. MCR has got a great start. Slayer not so much, but the drag.
Slayer's got a better one.
Oh, yeah, completely ignore me. Jasper now. Jasper is in trouble. He's getting absolutely swamped. This is going to cause a pile-up. I've absolutely bet my life someone's going to lose a wing.
Yep.
Yep. And away we go. Oh, there's all sorts. There's absolutely... Oh, there's a massive pile-up. What on earth has happened there? ST5, Swip, Clausen are all around. I think Emperor all sorts has gone on. There's a VSC. And that was...
got damage.
Passer's got... He's got a wing like a homeless man's teeth, I think is the phrase. And he is in all sorts of trouble. That was absolute bedlam at the beginning. Clausen has already got a pen. And it was all because Jasper's kind of concertina the field. As away we go.
I don't know what it's like on your screen, obviously, but on my screen the Mercedes went under the car, so...
Ooh, and there's cars out here with wing damage, isn't there? And they're just going to be causing a little bit of chaos.
Swift, ST5, the Garfield for ST5, yeah. It's going to be... You know, the pit stop behind.
Ooh, Ivor has just completely and utterly ran wide. He was so lucky to avoid it under the bridge, and that looks to me... How's he got away with no damage? Incredible. Riley's got damage, and Riley's kind of causing this massive hold-up, and now loads of them go into the pit. This is absolutely insane.
This is more than D3.
This is chaos. And
and Clausen's hit the pit.
Oh, and that's going to cause a full course now. Right, let's not give any information. Swip has been... Oh, no.
What? No, Swip. No, that's harsh. He slowed down because Clausen was blocking the pits, so he's been disqualified.
That is absolutely ridiculous. As a few of them have pitted, which I find incredible. Well, the ones that have pitted, they won't have got away with it scot-free because there would have been some run time, I think.
Yeah.
Right, what do they do now?
We're saying Raw Council's leaving to me, but I would say... I'm tempted to say pit hards. They wouldn't go off.
Well, this is it. I wonder if we...
I would definitely say pit though.
I wonder if we did it. If we did hards, what would have happened?
Yeah. I think we'd have both pit for softs. Just like I said.
Actually, yeah. And then we'd have probably been a lot better off. Yeah, good point. But
yeah. I think in IOR for Russia, the front drivers did pit for hards. So let's see. As MCR is
staying out.
staying out.
Oh, Slayer goes in. They've
Jasper
seen.
does. Cloudy.
Oh, the double
Cloudy's done it
stack.
as well.
Ooh, that was. No wings have been harmed in the making of this video so far, but I tell you what, that was close.
As now the two AlphaTauri, sorry, are up into P3 and 4.
That's so
Evo
Ivo.
P5.
Yes, go. Ivo's up to P5. Now,
Masterclass.
what scares me now, if I'm being completely honest, these guys, Jasper's gone hards. Now that's really interesting. Cloudy's gone hards. I mean, my only argument for mediums, if I'm being completely honest, is if there's another safety car, you're going to pit again.
Yeah.
And there's probably... it could be... If there's not another safety car, I think Jasper and Cloudy have done an absolute blinder here. But...
Yeah.
It's very risky.
I think it depends on how good... If Slayer knows he's good at tyre wear saving as well, he doesn't have to worry about Jasper behind him.
Not at all. Yeah, exactly.
And if there's no safety car, he's free to go, so he can just save his tyres if he's thinking like that.
MCR is in a world of trouble, I feel. I don't like his non-pit at all. I think he's really going to suffer. We saw that from guys like Bree in D3, who was leading is in the top 5 or 6 or so, and it really impacted his race. He couldn't get back through the field. Obviously, this is a bit different down here.
Less trains.
Less trains, absolutely, less trains, and that's a massive factor. But I'm still not a massive fan, as everything's going very, very slow.
It's just a safety car doesn't know how to drive quickly through the last sector.
No, it's dreadful, to be honest.
Their tyres are going to be ice cold, I can tell. Personal experience.
This was it. I mean, you have to go some to even get them like slightly warm. And knowing when to go is really tough because you're the first person that tests the traction. I mean, I can say this from experience earlier. I was like, I've got no idea because there's such big traction zones out those last two corners. I was like, I've got no clue how it's going to react. And I think one or two people span. I think Bree may have actually span in D3, so they have to be careful putting the power down.
I think, and also turn 2, you're going to have ice cold brakes going into that.
Yep.
So our braking points will not be right as Bellon kind of showed us there going around.
Samuel Wright is not happy. Samuel Wright is obviously SWIP. Went through the...
I'd be barely disappointed as well, as to say the least. He didn't even stop. I was on board with him. He just slowed down very slowly, because there's a car in his way. And we all know the ghosting system.
It's dreadful.
Yeah.
Well, IFR Golden has said it's always fun being Klassen's engineer. Well, you don't have to worry about that too much tonight, my man, unfortunately. Klassen has had a nightmare. Really tough. We should be back underway, I assume, this lap, and be very interesting to see. I mean, you would think MCR can build quite a credible gap, and it's just where he comes back out when he chooses to pit.
Yeah. It also all depends on how quickly Slayer gets through these 4 cars. Because if he gets through straight away, I don't think there's any hope for MCR. But if they hold him up quite a lot, which could happen, let's be honest. As Bellon's just tried to make an overtake on the safety car.
Yeah. Standard Swiss behaviour. As McDutchface now really, he's going to be he's in a very interesting spot because as much as he wants to react to MCR, he's in a different race. He kind of knows that he's in a really good spot here, and he can just kind of, as much as he can, try and gap these guys. As MCR has gone, I believe, And yeah, MCR follows Bell on
early.
slow. Yeah, very, very early. And McDutchface. Yeah, and McDutchface has stayed with him. So let's see what happens down onto turn 1. This isn't really where McDutchface... Oh!
The back. There's Slayers. Side by side with Ibo.
He gets round.
Yeah, Ibo lets him go. Which is fair enough, I think.
McDutchface gets a warning for cutting that corner almost certainly, as Jasper is down into P8 and David all over the back of him. Ivor now.
Made a good move on him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. We just kind of caught the back of that as Ivor's now through on Riley, but Freak Ronk takes the inside and he will be leading this train. He's on those softs. That's a great start for him. A very aggressive strat. He's going to want another safety car. It's Flip all over the back of Ibo. They're going to be crying to get past Ibo as Ibo just moves out the way. Where's he going to go?
Very respectful.
It's almost too respectful. Get back on the track.
Yeah. You're not lap down.
It's nothing worse. Oh, as Jasper has lost it, and Jasper's flying through the back of the field. This is terrible. Ooh, and he's moved quite a few times there from what I saw.
Yeah.
And Freak will easily have this.
Especially with those fresh softs.
So there's two arguments, isn't there, really? There's the argument that Slayer is the net lead of the race, and then if there's an SC, you will argue that McDutchface isn't the net lead of the race. So
yeah,
really, really interesting.
Dave gets past Ibo.
Ibo needs to hold it out.
Yeah.
Don't just move everyone past. You can get some points here. Slayer now all over the back of the two Alpha Tauris. Well, I really want to run on board with this because this is going to be pivotal for Slayer. He needs to get through. Riley. Ooh, and that's on a straight. So he's got no wing at all. I don't know how he's managed that. There's been contact through that kink, I think.
Yeah. That's going to be a very painful whole lap now for Riley with that no wing.
I think his only goal really is to just get round and make sure he's not lapped, to be honest, and keep himself in the game if an SC comes out. Slayer is... Oh, my life. There is all sorts...
Dave's got a drive through.
Speeding under VSC. We didn't have a VSC.
Yeah, we did. He was out just...
Oh, just then?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm guessing it's for Riley. Ibo's round as well. Without a wing. Maybe that's why they never went through.
What a move! Flip and Slayer, but he gets through. That's one of the best moves I've seen. That's so daring. And I tell you what, that is yeah, and it's caused chaos for Slayer being behind these two guys because he's kept it careful as he should, and Flip isn't. Flip needs to be so careful. Keep your wing. Keep your wing. That's kind of the big requirement here, as he's going to get DRS, and Emperor does not. So, but he's not attacking. He's not attacking, which I find absolutely bizarre.
Slayer's now.
Ooh.
And there's another VS. What was this VSC been called then? Flip's just hit.
I'm not entirely sure. There are 3 people going in for the pit, which is just a bit unusual under normal racing circumstances. So
I think they're all three got damage to the car. I think. Yeah, they all got wind changes. So.
Back away. Slayer right on the back now of Emperor Rub, but it's so tough as Emperor Rub runs wide.
Oh. Very close.
Just keep careful here. The funny thing is, these guys, I don't blame them for not letting them through, because if there is another SC, they're in a very good spot.
Yeah. Now they both get past. Flip.
Emperor keeps it nice and chilled all sorts. There's a massive train behind now, really going all the way back to Ivor.
I think I don't remember last 4 lap of racing, so anyone can still win it. There's Cloudy and Freak are side by side, and Freak's into the pits.
Yeah, it's
So
tough
is
for him.
Dave. Two apparent double stacking.
Got Slayer all over the back of Bellon now. He knows he has to get past.
All over Ben Scott as well. Is Mike going to make it 3 wide? I think he is.
Oh wow,
No,
he's cut to the outside. Well, he takes the Mario Kart shortcut, and that doesn't particularly help his cause because he's going to have Ben all over the back of him now. And Ben could make a dive, he doesn't.
Passay's made a dive and Jasper in front of him.
Oh! And he's in the wall!
I think, to be fair, I think they were just side by side there.
No.
Couldn't do anything.
There's a lot of racecraft kind of holes kind of showing.
Yeah. Now Flip trying to get past Bellon, and Bellon's not having it.
Bellon.
This time. Really can't do much about it actually.
No, now Cloudy's going to be all over the next guy to try and go through, as Jasper is through on... Sorry, Ivor is through on Jasper, which is important for him. And Cloudy gets past Bellon.
He's in a very good position, I do have to say, on those hards.
He is.
Quite fast.
If he can keep...
Really.
Yeah, if he can keep with Slayer and Flip, at some point it's going to come back to him. But I just don't trust D5 to not have another safety car at some point.
I don't think I trust any division at this point.
Not round here, to be fair.
Or Monaco next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, as Ivor now round the outside of Emperor.
Very nice move. Emperor does have damage, so I think just have a look at the move. But
Dave Pitts again. Oh! And there's all sorts going on there. There's so many cars wide. It's just chaos. It's hard to keep up with, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. It's sort of this is usually the time it settles down, but it hasn't today.
No, and Jasper now all over the back of Emperor, and his first Swiss test is coming up. Oh! And he's failed it.
Yeah.
And it's such a tough one to see, because I don't really feel like he needed to really... You don't need to push behind Emperor.
Yeah. He had damage. Emperor has damage as well.
Yeah.
I would have known that, but...
And Cloudy, though, is definitely in a great place. He can just get dragged along by Flip, and then eventually... kind of...
Yeah, I think he's caught in this lap, if anything.
Yeah. Yellows again. I think we're going to have yellows for the rest of the race, because...
I think it's just roll cancel then.
Yeah.
We've now Passay and then Scott after the Haas. Too far away this time.
Yeah, he seems to be running higher wing because he's pushing. And even though he was pushing, there was not really much of a game, but Ryan runs really badly, and this should be easy. Oh, he's taken the wide line though, and that's never going to help.
He's got the damage as well, hasn't he, Passay, from earlier?
I don't know how he's carrying on with that. It's impressive, because there must be hell through pretty much every corner here.
It's probably the worst track to have damage, I think. One of the worst there.
Jasper comes out in a very lowly 15th. He's not going to be happy, as Ivor now looking onto the back of Bellon. You just have to keep it chill here and just get the DRS. He's got loads of ERS. He runs very wide.
Very nicely.
Bellon is definitely less erratic than Emperor as well. in my honest experiences. McDutchface.
Less of a Kvyat of the group.
Yes, absolutely. As MCR does pit now, with all the chaos, he could come out quite golden. I haven't really kept an eye.
Bad job there.
No, not at all. And I think he's going to come out maybe dead in that train, which is probably not the best for him. Bad news is you are going to be behind Bellon and Emperor, the villains of the piece for this race, and actually he's going to come out behind. Oh, it's Ryan now. Ryan gets past me the setup, and then but they're just running wide, and I just feel like people need to back out of that corner. People aren't learning that.
Yeah. It's never ending well.
Right, this is a test for MCR. If he can win a title, he needs to get past these guys. I'm going to ride on board with him.
Oh. Avoid going for a triple overtake there.
And this is kind of where
got one.
It's really going to help him at this point. He needs to be patient. As Ivor picks up a pen, and he is being patient, but he's in this train, and an unusual experience probably for the D5 guys being in a train quite like this at this point in the race.
Yeah.
He's looking. He's always
very
looking.
hard to keep concentration.
Goes round the outside of SD5 now.
Move.
That is, and he knew the tyre advantage. It's fine to be aggressive, but you have to be controlled.
Sloughed, almost.
Right. Now, I mean, Emperor could actually get done by 3 different drivers here. Oh, maybe not. He's got actually quite a good exit.
And Ryan's got no ERS, so Paco's going to be looking for the move.
Oh, MCR driving really well. He's going to go up the inside here. Oh. Oh, he gets away with it. Now this is...
Ryan's almost sandwiched in it, isn't he?
This is incredible. He gets past.
He's done it. What a move.
We've got just this train is just pretty much never ending, all the way back to Ben.
I mean, it's when everyone's pitting, they're coming out behind this train, and because they're going so slowly, they're all just forming.
So pass me the setup now. Oh, Emperor really squeezes it.
Squeeze.
MCR can't quite. Oh, he's gone up the inside.
For it.
What a move! And this is crucial because now, if he can get a bit closer to passing with the setup, he could probably do him under DRS.
Yeah, I do have to say that those clouds, we kind of forgot about it, but they are forming.
They're not looking great, are they?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be particularly bad news for Dave, because he's stuck on those softs as we have a yellow. Royal Council as Emperor and SD5 get into it on these streets. Jav in the chat supporting MCR as he does. He does get past, but it's...
He's done it.
Oh, he's all over the place. Pass me the setup.
That wing's really showing, I think. I like
so.
a wing.
Right, what can SD5 do? He was in the wars early. Let's not forget this. The two Mercedes were really in the wars, and he's getting squeezed again. Emperor loves a good squeeze. even though...
Ryan goes for a late dive there.
Oh, what a move.
Switch back very nicely.
What a move.
Very nice indeed from Ryan.
Oh, Ben catches Emperor napping. And Ben's through. So that's it for that particular sideshow. Until Dave kind of catches up to the back of it. Which he might not do, to be honest. Having to pit again, so that could be that almost. Troy Hobbs in the chat saying, "Come on, Riley. He's gonna need a bit of luck to get in the points."
Yeah.
Let's have a look where these guys are. So Royal Council's been lapped. Ibo hasn't, I don't believe. And Norris Freak wrong. So it's, yeah, at the moment the only one that's really out of it is Royal Council.
Yeah. With being a lap down as well. I do have to say, Dutch Face has driven very well so far.
So I don't actually know the... as Ben Scott nearly loses it riding on board with him, I think Dutchface will come out in about 5th.
P8. He was behind MCR, if you remember, for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's now got better. Into P6. So he's
Big
going to be
move.
around there.
Yeah.
Unless he's waiting for the rain, which he could well be.
Well, this is it, isn't it? You know, it's going to nullify everything. It's going to act almost like a... I was going to say a safety car. It's Royal Council and Ibo again, but... yeah, it's... all to play for still. I'm not going to predict anything here. I'm going to predict the MCR lands on the podium. But other than that...
I've learned from previous week, you can't predict P5. Not even on the last lap, I don't think.
Ibo picks up a pen. Let's have a look at these pens. So the only people with 6 are SD5, Ryan, and Dave with a 5-second. Royal Council has 14 seconds. It's going after the record, I believe, which will be hard to do. As SD5 is all over the back of Pass with the setup, who is doing incredibly well to stay out here with this damage. He must have some serious pace, this guy.
Yeah. I think he's just trying to hope. He doesn't want to lose a pit stop. But then it's to rain the next lap, I think now.
100%, yeah, I can completely get it.
He'd almost got used to that wind damage now, I reckon.
Yeah.
14 laps in.
If it's yellow, it's not going to be the end of the world, and it's quite. It seems like a long pit lane here. So Slayer is in. You would have argued the driving seat if everything was normal, but again with those clouds, and it looks to me that is that. I don't know how advanced the cloud system is here, but it looks to be rain. When you're pointing out coming into the penultimate corner.
Yeah. I think you have to say it seems lighter apart of the track, like going onto this track it's dark. So sector 3 seems quite light still.
There's SD5 running really deep.
As Ben Scott gets past Ryan.
Ooh. Cracking move. I'm going to take it off TV pod now, put it back on broadcast. Get shoved with the worst camera angle possible. Yeah, SD5 needs to make quick work of Bellum. But with Dutchface, Slayer, Cloudy, MCR, and to be fair, Jasper and Freak Wrong all not having pens, along with Riley, and of course Ben Scott. I don't know how experienced Ben is with league racing, but it's all kind of people that are quite experienced with league racing that are not picking up pens here, as SD5 does pick up a 3-second pen again.
I think, especially Russia, is one of the worst tracks for penalties. But if you've done more, like even if you've just done one season, you know how important they are. Not getting them. It's raining.
Ooh. It is raining indeed, so McDutchface is in a brilliant position, but now we're going to see who is the Rainmaster, as Cloudy has done really well as well. In fact, all of these guys, there could be I'm not going to rule out a safety car in these conditions, because that turn 1 is going to get worse and worse, as is turn 4. Is it 4? The big bendy left one?
Turn 3 is
Ooh, as MCR picks up a pen. So this is going from bad to worse for him. He needs to make quick work of Mike. He needs to put absolute pedal to the floor now, because unfortunately for him, this rain has kind of nullified his strategy, which would have only kind of paid out more and more as the race went on.
Yeah. I think it's definitely paid off for the people that paid. I mean,
Well, Freak has gone on to Inters. I'm not saying that's right. It doesn't look wet enough for me.
yeah, it still looks... Well, there's still DRS and stuff. That's usually my tell sign.
There's a little bit of spray under braking.
MCR is losing a bit of control, I think.
Yeah, around here it's going to be so...
Yeah, he's drifting through the last corner as he goes to pit.
So how is Freak looking? I mean, it's looking pretty okay around there. There is some spray, and it's disabled. So actually...
McDutchface and Slayer have also pit.
They've done really well.
Stayed out.
Oh, and MCR is in as well, and Bellon 5 seconds. They're all going to come flying in now. Not a single one of them's not going to pit. So here we go.
Crazy to think, one lap, not even one lap, even half a lap, and this completely wet.
Oh yeah, Ivor's all over the show. Ivor's completely missed it, and Slayer is just catching him and catching him and catching him.
The Mike, and he's just, unfortunately for him, not paid off at all. I think those killer instincts have cursed him again.
Going to be back in 1 sec. I'm going to ride on board with Ivor, because he's probably the only one that's going to cause an SC at this point.
Yeah, the gap's pretty much all 3 seconds or higher, so there's no one really wanting an overtake at this point. Let's go on board with Mike and see him through the last few corners and see how he does.
He's still losing absolutely stacks of time.
He just can't brake.
It's crazy how quick it's come down.
Yeah. I think it happened in D1 as well. So that was heavy rain, so I didn't think it'd be the same. But obviously Russia must have something in it.
Oh, he nearly lost it. He's done well to get that round, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
And he's not going to come out.
Azebo's in front of him.
Oh yeah. Don't want to get disqualified. So what are we saying? Are we saying McDutchface is gonna win this?
I don't know, honestly, because anything can still happen. But he looks like he's got all under control at the minute, especially with, I think, especially for second at least, as Flip's got 10 and 10 seconds back from Slayer.
Oh! Was that Bellon's wing? Was that Ivor's wing? I think it might have been.
I don't think it doesn't look like Ivor's.
Really tight now, and Bellon is up to 7th in this race. He's doing incredibly well.
Yeah, he didn't stop, did he? So, obviously. But he started on mediums as well, which, like McDutchface, paid off massively.
Royal Council's gone on the wets. So if he can find some pace in those to get back the 3 laps that he's down, you never know.
Absolute masterclass.
It's one thing getting past Bellon in the dry with DRS. It's another thing doing it in the wet.
Let's see if Passe knows what he's doing. Yeah, I do have to say Bellon gets a very good exit out of a lot of corners.
I think he runs no assists, and I think it's... If you've got no TC on and you can master it, it definitely helps as he runs down the inside past me to set up, but it doesn't quite work, and Bellon defends it really fairly as well, I think. As MCR... Well, Cloudy's in the pit.
What?
Is he lost it somewhere? Or is he going... He must have.
He's got a wing change.
And that's golden for MCR.
Slayer's gone.
Oh! Is he...
Slayer's...
There's no wing damage.
He's just run wide, I think.
And that's kind of gifted. Look, Dutchface, everything on a plate. He's absolutely clear as Cloudy dropping right down. And Bellon
doesn't look that bad again.
Yeah.
65 as well. He's right back in it.
Well, I predicted a podium, and I'm standing by it. Flip has more pens. I mean, with Dutchface is up 10 places. We said to start from 11th is pretty handy here.
Yeah.
Slayer is where he is, and Flip's up 5, but Bellon's up 12. So incredible effort.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers today have shown you don't have to be on pole to win.
No.
Especially, I'd probably say more this division more so than anything, but anything can happen on any lap.
Royal Council's DNF'd.
Definitely time for us then.
We're fine. So Dave has done really well to work his way back into some kind of threat for points. He's really caught Emperor to the tune of about 30 seconds over the course of the last 7 or 8 laps or so.
Guys, head down. Cloudy Cloud, I reckon, could have been up there as well.
100%. Yeah. And
he didn't spin.
now
Still fine for points.
all Flip has to do is just kind of stay well out of trouble, and he's going to get a podium here, you feel, as Bellon very slow out of that corner. How are they all... They're all flying on that ERS.
Yeah, look Dutchface, I mean, he's using it. He's on 70%.
Ooh, and past me the setup gets nudged off, and he takes the appropriate action.
Mike's managed to get his way past now, and Ryan.
Yep. So it's now Ivor's chance to run the gauntlet.
The AlphaTauri train. It's been for the lot of this race, I have to say.
This has been it, and I'm going to run on board with Ivor, see what he can see. As Ryan is... might as well run up the back of Ryan. Can't see tons, but it tells you just how hard it is to follow in these conditions. It's like... Yeah. They're all struggling, I think, to find their braking zones as well.
I do have to say Mike's got full ERS, so he should be fine from people behind him anyway.
He just needs to use it, because Bellon's not got tons. Oh, as he lunges now, you can't lunge there. I'm not a massive fan of that. And
He has got power. Definitely a late lunge though.
I mean, Bellon does kind of come across, but then he's entitled to, because they weren't alongside. Yeah, they weren't alongside, so it's a tough one. I'm not a massive fan of it, but he now needs to go. He's got 100% ERS, which is wasted ERS, so I never understand when I see that. As Bellon now really is struggling for ERS, and Ryan's going to have easy work
Passe try and get him as well. He does.
Bellon kind of just gives up.
I know. I don't know if that was really late on the pressure by Passe or what, but as a quality move either way.
So here's an unwanted problem for Slayer, because Flip is looking a lot quicker in this wet. He's got 6 seconds. If I'm Slayer, I'm probably just moving over and going, off you go. But then again, he's that much quicker, I'd still be a little bit nervous. Yeah.
He's got 5 laps to get 3 seconds.
Yeah. Dave on the back of Emperor. This is for a point. These two have been racing together for many a year. Way back from 2017, these guys were racing together, so they'll be familiar with each other. It's just a question of whether Dave can make it work, as Jasper picks up a 3-second time pen, which is not going to help his cause at all.
You definitely see that, like, if you've raced with someone a long time, you know what they're going to do, pretty much, defending, attacking. Makes it easy to race them.
100%. It's always more difficult when you're racing people that you haven't raced before, because you don't know if they haven't got ABS. You don't know, are they a guy that tends to brake a tiny bit early into slow corners, whatever it might well be. It's so tough to judge, but these guys will know each other.
Ryan's still on the back of Mike. I think them two have slowly got away from Passe there. Seems, anyway.
We have a D-Freeze race winner in the chat saying that Emperor and Dave are the real OGs, plus Bellon. He will remember racing these guys. And we're talking to Bellon, he is still on the back of Pass Me the Setup, so good effort from him.
As Passe's teammate is also on the back of Bellon.
Yeah, and this will help Cloudy potentially just catch up to the back of all these guys with pens. If Ivor is kind of going to hold them up, which it looks like he's going to do, it's going to help Ben and Cloudy. Emperor's too far back, but it's definitely going to help these guys.
I think Mark needs to start using the arrows, like you said. He's still on like 70. Well, he's just been using it straight, but he's still on 75. So if he wants to get away, guys.
I think you could pretty much use it everywhere now, because it's wet, so you tend to not use tons of the stuff.
You save a lot more in corners.
Yeah.
Well.
Freak on the back of, as he's been. Oh, poor Dave has been overtaken by Freak. We've missed that, and his day gets worse because he's looking like he's going to not be in the points now on the back of that. Looks like we've got 2 separate races going on, as Bellon looks really squirrely out of the last corner. Ben could have him here. He's going to put everything into this.
Ryan's trying to get past Mike as well.
Yep.
Doesn't have the RS to do it.
Yeah. And he didn't try and dive it, which I think is the sensible thing. In these conditions, you can't just stick your nose in.
As I do have to say, that Dutch face still, I think in these conditions has been quicker than Slayer. I think he's been gaining time.
He has, and he can kind of put his feet up now.
Yeah.
As Freak gets a pen, so the battle for the last point actually is beautifully poised. They're all in the same boat, so I'm looking forward to keeping an eye on that.
We've all got the same ERS as well.
It's going to be who's the most consistent. You would think it would be Dave or Freak. As I say that, give him a bit of a curse. He runs really wide, and he's going to be in trouble. He's going to lose some time, but he should gain it back.
Ben Scott still right behind. Bellon, nothing in the making of Passe. Caught Ryan and Mike very quickly.
Yeah. You have to say this is going to be a good comeback from Mike. He gets a lot of grief. mainly because he says he'll pretty much walk D5, but 6th is not bad from this situation, as SD5 picks up another pen. It's not going to matter because the top 5 are just absolutely miles clear.
And he's miles clear of P6.
Yeah.
Mike, I do have to say, Ryan and Passe both have more penalties than him, so he'll obviously take that into consideration.
Yeah, he just needs to get round at this point, I feel. As Ben is on the back of Bellon still, and he just can't get it done.
That's Freak. Now I'm looking for the overtake, I think.
Dave has managed to claw himself back as Bellon gets a pen. That goes to 11 seconds, so again, that's not going to matter too much, but probably do without picking up so many pens. Like you said, this is the division of pens. I think you're right. As pass me the setup now, he's gonna not quite have it done.
He's gonna look for it here though.
Yeah, he just needs to draft him. Oh, he's got so much more pace. Oh no, you can't do that.
No.
That didn't seem particularly grand to me, and that's really unfortunate because I tell you what, he's had a very good race past me the setup because he was all over the place. He'd obviously got wing damage. He's defending like Billy-O as Ben Scott gets past. Or does he? Does he give us a good camera angle? No, Bellon keeps it. Rub now on Freak Ronk. Oh no! I think Dave's got wing damage off the back of Emperor. And Freak Ronk gets past, and that's got to be that. You're going to have to think that's pretty much it. We got yellows. Someone's... Well, it's not going to matter at this point.
Yeah, it looked like Izebo.
Dave, use the ERS. Try and get out of dodge.
Passe suddenly dropped off. Ryan? Well, I don't know if he's...
Oh, Dave runs into the back of Emperor. That's not going to help. He tries to squeeze Emperor. Oh, Emperor goes wide. This is really, really messy. And Freak is just going to be loving this. He's going to be able to ride off into the last point, and Dave's going to be furious. He looks to go around the outside. It's not going to quite work.
Move everywhere,
yeah. He's. I think he's annoyed.
Yeah.
I think he's been wound up by something the Emperor's done.
Definitely, or just not being able to get past.
Ben Scott gets past Bellon. Bellon doesn't really fight it because of those pens. He's quite right to.
Especially with Ben having 0, which is very well done actually.
David Emperor taking it to the streets. Dave somehow wound up behind him.
Jasper's nearly caught him.
Well, the funny thing is with this is that Jasper could actually... well, actually, the problem is he needs to stay ahead of McDutchface because McDutchface is coming round to lap him. Oh, that's it. That's that. As now he's not going to get a chance to catch up to the back of them. That's that. So McDutchface now is going to come round 21 seconds clear of Slayer. This is probably one of the most... Yeah, I've not seen a more dominant win in quite some time. No pens. And we get to see a whole lap of the guys in front as well, which I'm pretty happy about. As McDutchface comes round and he wins comfortably. And we don't even have to...
Superb drive.
Absolutely, we don't even have to kind of drastically cut back to Slayer because he's still an absolute mile behind. As Ryan now, all over the back. Pass me the setup all over the back of Ryan. And this is pretty mad.
Slayer and Flip both across the line.
Great effort from those guys as MCR will come round. Pass me the setup, gets passed up. Oh.
He's got past William pass, back for him.
crazy as MCR in 4th, SD5 in 5th. Ivor is still a mile back, and Ryan now can't quite get it done. Past me the setup, stays out ahead. I mean, it's all irrelevant on these pens. Maybe they're going to appeal or something. I don't know, but
Mike's taking it very easily through that
he
one.
is. And he knows he can because of the pen situation. As Emperor and Dave still going at it. 13th place.
He's got past five. Emperor's on the comeback.
He's got lower wings. He must do because he's all over the back of him. He's going to dive, but he's going to do it, isn't he? He does it up the inside. Dave gets it.
Gets the squeeze on.
Ben in 6th, great performance from him. Ivor in 7th, passed me to set up in 8th. Ryan in 9th, Cloudy in 10th, Bellon in 11th. We've got the lapped finishers, of course, but this has been an obscure race from this man, Frig Frog, and he will think, well, I'll take a point. And he nearly catches Bellon.
Only 2 seconds.
And Dave wins the... He is first of the he come first just of people that didn't get any points. Let's say that.
Yeah. First of the worst. No, I don't know.
First of the worst. That's a lovely thing to say after someone's just...
Yeah.
You're kind of
First
right.
of the non-finishers. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, driver of the day, Ben Scott. Yeah, I mean, he's done very well, but...
Jasper, I've got to say. No, not Jasper, McDutchface even, sorry.
I was going to say. Controversial tip there. As, yeah, we see McDutchface, who... I did say, didn't I? He's a bit of a sleeper. And it doesn't surprise me too much that he's up there. But he will be very happy with that win, but Slayer will be even more happy because he gets to just... cruise along, minding his own business, and all he really needs to do, probably, if he just podiums from here on in through the season, everyone else is going to just mess up enough, I think.
Yeah. I think we've seen that today with MCR, especially.
So,
I think... Yeah, carry on, sorry.
I was going to say, so all the front three are from the Netherlands.
First British driver is Ben Scott in 6th.
Yes, and Ivor won't call himself British, but tough luck. But yeah, we look through the standings. Obviously, McDutchface with dominant win, Slayer in 2nd, Flip in 3rd, MCR in 4th, SD5 in 5th, Ben Scott in 6th, Ivor in 7th, passing with the setup in 8th, Ryan Belshaw in 9th, Cloudy Cloud in 10th, Bellon in 11th, Freak in 12th, Dave winning the battle against Emperor in 13th, and Emperor in 14th, Jasper in 15th, Riley in 16th, not what he wanted, and Cerribo in 17th, and Royal Council with a DNF, Klassen with a DNF, and the DSQ went to SWIP, which is
very unfortunate.
It's the kind of thing that would just I'm going to use a phrase, we on your chips, I think. But yeah, it's been a tough one. I mean, my driver of the day would definitely be McDutchface. I think you said the same. Some other really credible performances though. Ben Scott was one, wasn't he?
Yeah, Ben Scott. I think a lot. SD5, I think, was in the chaos a lot and still managed to finish P5 as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all honourable mentions.
But yeah, it's been a long one. That one. That was. I feel like I had about 3 races worth go on there, commentating. Yeah.
And it's Monaco next week.
And it's Monaco next week. So hopefully, in the nicest possible way, I'll be having my feet up for that one, and you'll have your regular partner in crime back. But I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's kind of that from us.
Yeah, it's very fun.
And all I can say, that's all right. It's been a pleasure. I always love jumping in, but thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And see you all next week for Monaco. Ouch.